So you say balance is bad. You say balance is the worst school. After the nerfs, they can't do nothing. Balance stinks. Okay. I'm here to prove these naysayers wrong with this brand new setup, okay? Because I think all balance needed was some creativity and some off the beaten path stats to really kind of have a fighting shot in this meta. So let's take a look at my stats, okay? We've got 87 universal damage, 97 to balance. 70% universal resist with 85 to ice fire balance. Universal, 17% accuracy. Basically negligible critical rating. Interestingly enough, we've got 18% balance, but up to 33% shadow for armor piercing. So I don't know what's going on here. And then, of course, if we take a look at the last page, we've got 96% power pip chance, not too bad, and 584 pip conversion. So what's going on here? Okay, what are these stats? What's happening here? I'll tell you what's happening. It's Nova time, baby. There we go. That's what we're doing. That is our video today. So there's two versions of balance that I think you can be playing in this metagame, and one is critical balance, so focusing on high damage, high critical, and abusing things like availing hands. But this is the other version where I think you slow it down, you be a little more tanky, and you go for these crazy Nova kills. So there's two things about my stats that I don't like and that I can't fix right now. Number one, I'm using this hat. This really should probably be the Turquoise Eagles hat. Okay, because it gives damage. I'm pretty sure it gives pierce. Not as much resist, but that's okay. And I think more health. So it's just overall better for our offensive, because you still want universal damage. That's what you're aiming for with these stats, is high universal damage. And then, of course, we are using the Turquoise Eagles raiment. Very, very obvious choice for this gear setup. And then Silent Knight's snow boots, which is, again, in my opinion, a very obvious choice for the gear setup. And then for the wand, another very obvious choice. Like, this is the one that balance uses anyway, so no surprises there. This is the Athame. We have it outfitted with shadow piercing jewels, as you'll notice, as well as the Shane amulet and the Duelist Daredevil ring. Now the pet is also like the one other thing. So I said there's two things about the gear that I don't like. It's the pet and the hat. I really like a Clockwork Paladin. I would like the stats on another Clockwork Paladin. But here's the thing. You can't have Balance Dealer. I mean, you can, but no. Okay. We don't want Balance Dealer. We want Pain Giver. Because that still powers up our balance attacks, but more importantly, it powers up our Nova, so it does both of those simultaneously. And then, of course, the other thing I don't like about this pet is that it has Balance Ward, which, in my opinion, is no longer necessary in this metagame. So I'd like to replace the Balance Ward with a very crazy Maycast, but if I can't get that together, then more realistically, I would like Infallible, because just like Maycast Infallible with Dark Nova. Good stuff, very good stuff, because when you combine our already high 33% shadow piercing chance, that's just how it is, 33%. When you add on 15 to that, we're at 48, okay? And 48, that's a high number, okay? And then on top of that, the Dark Nova gives us a 10% piercing blade, so we're at 58 pierce. What? 58 pierce is higher than most people's universal resistance. So, and keep in mind, it's going to have to be universal resistance, because, yeah. The only exceptions to that are maybe like Ice and Death probably have higher. But outside of that, like, you're not really going to see Life players or Myth or Death, or these players are, I guess Death, I just said, was maybe the exception. But even Death typically doesn't have more than that, but they might. Okay, they very well could have 60%. I've seen that work on stats before. So besides Death and Ice, you are usually piercing 100% of their resistance as long as they aren't shielded when you have Infallible up. So that is really cool. Okay, and now let's talk about the deck setup here. So you'll notice it's a pretty thin deck, and that's because your main deck is your support, okay? That's all. These cards need to be on the quick draw, you know? Like, if you need a stun block, you shouldn't have to dig for more than one turn to find a stun block. If you need a Mander minion, you shouldn't have to dig for more than one turn to find a Mander minion, and so on and so forth, right? And then, of course, you could say the same thing as like about our one-ofs, which are Death Dispel, Elemental Diffuse, Spiritual Diffuse, and Unbalance. So, again, these are one-of cards, but since our deck is so small, it makes it a little easier to find stuff. And then, of course, in our main deck, the only hit that we have are 2 Sandstorms and 2 Enchants, because killing things is important, right? Killing minions is important. And with this being a thing, with the 300 enchant, you have enough damage to kill every minion that your opponent can summon, including Talos. So theoretically, I think that this is the best way to do it. Some people that do a Nova thing just have Sandstorm. Okay, that's fine. But if your opponent uses, like, let's say a shield on the minion or whatever, you want to still be able to one-shot the minion and get the utility out of Sandstorm. So that's why I have 2 enchants. It really doesn't clunk up the deck very much. So in our side deck here, we have 2 stuns, because stuns can always be important. 5 tower shields, because even though we have a lot of defenses in our main, you never know. 2 triage and 1 shift for handling overtimes. 2 shatter, very important card. Very important card. Oh, I just noticed that there is no... We'll add that in. We'll add it in. Okay, we'll do the change live. But shatter is really important. Okay, making sure that you have 2 of these in is very, very important, because if your opponent starts tower shield spamming, I don't personally have Deathbat. I don't even think Deathbat is really needed. Shatter kind of is just better in a lot of ways, I think. So we can use Shatter. That's a good option. And then of course we have Dark Pact. Dark Pact is specifically in here for Ifrit, because again, something Fires will do against you to try and block the Nova out is Dark Pact, because if you already have a feint on them or something like that, you can't just use a spell to get off the weakness, because it'll break your feint. So Dark Pact allows you to only do self-inflicted damage, which, by the way, it'll be 0 damage because of your flat resist, and put a 35% blade on you, which is nice. But something that I didn't realize about this until I used it was Dark Pact actually doesn't reduce the backlash on Dark Nova. So that's really stupid and honestly kind of annoying. I don't understand why it doesn't reduce backlash, but it doesn't. So, you know, it's still extremely essential, though. Like, if you're going up against a fire that use Ifrit, you already have a feint on there, you have to Dark Pact. There's no other option. But just for word to the wise, you know, it don't do nothing. So the other card we have in here, Feint, again, very important. Feints are great. We also have a couple feints in main, if you'll notice, because it's just an overall very, very good card. And then we have 2 Midnight Sprites. These little buggers are pretty cool, because for 1 pip they do some damage, and they put a, you know, a little trap. You know, not too much to say here. They just kind of do their thing, and I'm pretty sure this does reduce backlash, which is nice. And then of course we have 2 Gaze of Fate in here, 1 Pierce Enchanted Judgment. Don't ask about that. 3 Lore Master, because Lore Master can occasionally come in handy. Again, this isn't, the whole point of this is not to lore spam. It's really just kind of a situation of, like, if you need a shield broken as well as a weakness put on. But yeah, I don't know. Some people don't pack lore anymore at all, especially if they're doing this strategy. I think it's worth it to pack a few. And then Sandworm. So of course you're probably wondering, like, if we're going to be using our 2 pips, our 2 Shadow pips on the Dark Nova, why do we play Shadow enhanced hits besides Dark Nova? And they're incredible. Okay, they're just good low pip, high damage output spells. And we don't have a lot of access to things like that for this, especially because our Pierce for balance is not very good. So our damage with balance hits is not very good. So yeah, but we have these in here because there are situations where a Dark Nova doesn't do exactly what we need it to do. It doesn't exactly kill, But then, if as long as I get like one more Shadow Pip, like as long as I have 3 Shadow Pips throughout the course of the game, this can be a very nice finisher, right? And I know people that play Dark Nova that don't do this, and I disagree with it. I disagree with that that option, right? Because it's like you're so tanky, like you might as well, because you can probably stall your opponent out until you have enough pips and Shadow Pip to do this. And then of course we got 3 Savage Paw. This is a lit spell, man. We love this spell. It does 750 damage for 5 pips, not too shabby on its own. And it puts a plus 25 blade on you, so again, not too shabby. And of course this does reduce backlash, so you know, when in doubt, you can double paw it out if you've got the pips to do so. And then with pip conversion chance as well, it just makes this spell even more viable. And then of course 3 Supernova, because 2 pips, 800 damage, you destroy an aura. Why would you not pack this? And then 2 weaknesses, because again, you know, we're trying to be tanky, we're trying to survive, and you know, sometimes shielding just ain't it, right? So sometimes you gotta put a weakness on there, and that's what that is here for. So that is a full description of the gear and the deck. I know since I'm doing a pretty unorthodox strategy, it does require some explaining, and I know people are gonna ask if I don't explain it, so that's why the intro was so gosh darn long. But we are gonna get into our very first match here, so I hope you guys enjoy. Alright guys, so we got our very first match here, and I think I'm only gonna do 1 match today because I watched back the intro and realized it was like 12 minutes, so don't worry though, we will do plenty of more Nova content eventually. But then of course 2 corrections that I wanted to make for the thing that I was saying in the intro. Number 1, they did fix how Dark Pact works, so that like is no longer an issue with like Dark Pact not helping your backlash. And then the other correction I wanted to make was just the way I had my deck set up. I'll put up an image on screen right now of what I ended up correcting the deck setup to, but it was just a couple changes. I said I was going to do it in the video, didn't end up doing it, so I just wanted to make sure that you guys were on the same page for me for how my deck was going to be set up for this, because I try to give you guys an inside look into my thinking when I do things. So anyway, we're going up against Antonio here. He is a fire wizard. He looks like he's looking kind of ravenous. Okay, I don't think he knows we're a Nova. I don't think anyone knows except for you, the viewer. Okay, I could. Here's the deal. Okay, he doesn't have a Shadow Pip. I could summon a minion. That seems pretty cool. But he does have Fire Elf, right? And I'm sure at this point in the game he already has one in hand. So if he instantly is able to like just Hulk smash this minion, that would kind of be annoying. But dude, we're getting all of our Novas. Okay, it looks like he doesn't actually instantly do it. He's probably setting up a wildfire here. Okay. That's what I figured would happen. And now that pet probably is going to be a what is it called? The Maycast Infallible. So that is definitely something we're gonna have to watch out for, but we should be able to draw into something to take care of that. It seems like a weird move, but I think I'm just gonna mana burn here because, you know, we don't want him to have a lot of pips, and this way too, if he does decide to go after the minion with a Fire Elf, he's going to be completely out of pips. So I think that this is a good idea. And then, of course, we still haven't got a... Yeah, it looks like, okay, we predicted this right. He's going to go for the Elf. We still haven't gotten a Shadow Pip. He hasn't gotten one either, though, so it's not like the end of the world. Ooh. That didn't kill the minion. Interesting. Very interesting, actually. If we can pull a triage, which we're not seeming to pull, and my draw just broke for a second there. Okay, we didn't pull it. I guess we'll just put on a set shield. He does have a Shadow Pip now. I don't even know if this kills, right? Because the first hit did 300. Oh, no, that's definitely killing. No way, what? Okay, see, now I feel like I have to save him. That's crazy. He's got 17 health left. Okay. So he's probably going to go for a shield here. I mean, come on. Like, why wouldn't he? And we do have our first... oh! So he's protecting against gaze. He's not doing what he should be. Say a lot. I come to realize how much I say here. Ooh. Okay, that's pretty good. We like that. I really want triage, though. Let me pull triage. We didn't pull triage. So I guess we'll just get rid of this aura here. This will do a decent chunk, I think. Yeah, okay. 1,000, not bad. And then our minion goes down. I'm really bummed out we couldn't save him, but that is okay. Oh, and we get Elemental Diffuse. That is a very important card to have. So we still haven't gotten our second Shadow Pit, but that's okay. I'm assuming he's going to Elf here to... oh no, he's continuing to Fuel. Okay. This is actually kind of scary. I don't really like this. Because... yeah, I'm just thinking out loud here. Like, this is kind of scary because as soon as he gets a second Shadow Pip, he's going to be able to go into Shrike. And then when he goes into Shrike, all of our awesome defenses here mean nothing, which is a huge problem. So it looks like he is going to put on more shields. That's fine because he's not putting on tower shields. Like, we don't really care about those kinds of shields. And okay, we can redraw for a Shatter if I really need it. You know, come to think of it, I'm actually gonna pass here, which seems weird, right? Like, why not just shield? I'm pretty sure that his pet is a Maycast Shatter pet. So if that is the case, we definitely don't want that Shatter to go off while we have a set shield on. But we're very, very protected for this particular turn here. I'm going to keep the Tower Shield and I'm going to keep the Elemental Diffuse. I think both are going to be really important here. And we're just going to get out the minion because the minion can put on some weaknesses. It can put on mantles. It can do a lot for us here. So I think it's really crucial that we get him out even though we're staring down a player in Shrike right now. And I'm thinking our best option is going to be Elemental Diffuse this upcoming turn depending on what he does. And it looks like he is going to hit us. Okay, so he's just going to use a Fire Shark. I can respect it. He crits. And this is going to do probably like 500 maybe. Yeah, like 400. We're oh no. Actually, oh wait, what? That's a weird aura for him to have. It's weird that he has Infallible and Brace. That's interesting. Oh, and our minion's using Mantle. Okay. See, here's the problem, though. I can't lure him into... Ugh, this is bad. Here's what we're going to do. We're just going to Tower Shield, which is not optimal. And the next turn, we'll be able to Elemental Diffuse him to make sure that his last thing happens. But we're going to try to make use of the minion's Mantle that he gave us. But... yeah, this is kind of looking a little scary. He's only going to hit us once, though. Oh, and he fizzled. Okay, that's fantastic. That is really fantastic. Okay, so we'll definitely keep the brace up. We want to... we're going to probably be bracing next turn. And then, yeah, we'll just put this on, and, like, there's really nothing he can do here. And on top of that, he's going to be blocked from using a Tower Shield. So, that is great use of the Elemental Diffuse, coming in clutch, seeing why we play it. And then, of course, I think next turn the most optimal play here is just going to be to put up Brace again. But he's taking 20% backlash here. That's great for us. That's 2,000 damage, holy crap. And then guys, we have it, okay? We've got 2 pips, and I know you know what 2 pips means, okay? It's Nova time. It is Nova time, baby. So we are going to get our Brace up here because we got to stay protected. We can't get too giddy because then we'll just lose. And our minion is doing literally nothing helpful right now, which is kind of frustrating, but yeah. Okay, so it looks like he is going to go after the minion here. I like that he's wasting... oh, this is a weird play. This is a strange play. I like that he's wasting the Pierce Blade on the minion, though, because I was kind of worried he was going to, like, fire Elf us or something. Wow, that did a lot of damage. Okay, I'm a little surprised. And he does have a shield up now. But, like, honestly, though, I think it's Nova time. I think it's Nova time. So we're going to start drawing for all of our Nova combo pieces. Yeah, so we're just going to start off with the Nova. And he can Ifrit us, that's like a thing. But we do play Dark Pact, okay? And that is going to stop that. And I'm pretty sure that's really the only thing super scary that he can do to us is a Dark Pact. And, or I mean an Ifrit, which again, we can just respond with a Dark Pact. So we'll get rid of all this. And like I said, we're just going to be looking for our Dark Pact card here. I would assume he's going to Shadow Hit. This puts us in a bit of a pickle because it does force me to shield this upcoming turn, because if I don't shield, then we just die. So yeah, but he can't really do it. He can't do the Ifrit play anymore. Did that say 700? Oh, what? Oh, he conservative pip though. Okay. See, like, yeah, we're just gonna do this because he still has his ice to spell on him. So like, there's really nothing that he can actually do. We're gonna increase our backlash. I don't like that, but as much as I really want to take an open FFA because we're just so tanky, we have so many traps on us right now. Yeah, we have 3 different traps on us right now. It would not have been smart to take that open FFA, but all he can really do is FFA us again. Or no, I guess fuel us again. And this better not be brace. This better not be brace. Okay, it's infallible. He still can't kill us, right? Yeah, we've got 2 turns left on the other thing. If I can find Savage Paw, I would rather do Savage Paw. And there's Savage Paw. Okay, so we'll do a Savage Paw here, which will do a little bit more damage. It'll break the shield, and we'll get a bigger buff than the Midnight Sprite. So it does use more pips, but we have a lot of pips to spare right now, so I'm not really that concerned. 700 damage, not too bad. We conserved the pip. This is gas. Okay, this is just straight gas. Oh, my man's fled. My man's fled. Oh no. Alright, well that was very fun. Okay. Guys, expect more videos on the Nova in the future. This is kind of just a video I wanted to make so that in the future when people ask me, hey, what stats are you using and stuff, I can point them to this video and they can look for the full breakdown. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today. That's really funny, actually. And if you did, make sure to leave a like, let me know. And stay tuned for more PvP content. Rotozap out. Peace.